And organizations that rely on federal resources are already feeling the pain of this government shutdown. Northern News Now's Ella Showburl takes a look.
Organizations in the Northland are anticipating looming threats that a prolonged government shutdown could bring, and they say this is just one hit out of many they've taken so far this year.
Second Harvest Northland provides food for more than 70,000 people in our region. For them, a long-lasting shutdown could hurt their organization and the people who rely on it.
There will be less food, less federal nutrition programs operating, which means more neighbors are going to be facing hunger.
Second Harvest also relies on the USDA for a part of their food supply. This year, they were already in a 1.3 million meal deficit due to federal program cuts.
So you add to it a government shutdown and all those other nutrition programs impacted. It means, again, more neighbors are going to need food support, and we're already facing challenging times.
On the other side of Duluth, the EPA Great Lakes Toxicology and Ecology Lab has also had its fair share of cuts this year. Now, almost 90% of employees at the lab will be furloughed and potentially fired.
Having that additional threat of being fired during the time when we're furloughed is just adding a layer of anxiety, but also danger to the American public of having environmental protection cut off completely.
Research at the Duluth lab will halt completely, and Nicole Cantello says that this would be a loss of valuable insights for emerging pollutants in the Great Lakes.
Currently, no progress has been made on an agreement for the spending bill, which could impact both health care costs and nutritional assistance programs like SNAP. In Duluth, Ella Showburl, Northern News Now.